Was watching David Anderson's tutorial on applying a Wordle fill to an object, which was a pretty inspiring way to think differently about how to use text and images together. Here's another real easy way that you can combine the two. On this slide, you can see I've got some text that is filled with not a color, but actually an image of these green leaves and blades of grass, kind of going with that theme of greenness and conservation. Here's another example. In this one, we've got the same image that's been applied to both the background and the text is just layered over top. And in this one, we've also used the same image in both the background and the text, but you can see we've applied a little bit of a transparency here to the background so that the text pops out a little bit more. So here's how to do this in PowerPoint 2007. It's super easy. We'll work on this slide for our example. First, I'm going to apply that sky image to our background. So we're going to right-click on our slide, choose Format Background, and then select Picture or Text Fill and select this File button. And then we can navigate to the image that we want to use. I'm going to use this sky image and then click Insert. And here you can change the transparency to lighten up that background if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you'll see the background over here is going to change dynamically while I move this slider. So let's move this all the way up to, well, that's a little bit too much. Let's back that off a little bit to 81%. Looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and click Close. And now we can add some text to this. So I'm going to come up here to the Insert tab, choose Text Box, and then I'm going to draw a text box all the way across the width of my slide. And then we can type in whatever word we want. I'm going to use the word breathe. And now we can change this to a real chunky bold font. And in my example, I used a font called Rockwell Extra Bold. It's just a standard font. You probably have it on your computer. And you might have other fonts that'll work really well too. Anything that's real big and bold is a good choice. Another thing you might want to do here too is tighten up the space in between these letters. And to do that, you can come up here to this little drop down called Character Spacing and choose Very Tight. And it doesn't look so good right now because the text is real small, but we're going to size it up quite a bit and it's going to look real nice. So let's go ahead and change the font size. You can use this drop down right here to go all the way up to a size of 96, which looks pretty good. But if you want it to be bigger, you're not limited to a size of 96. What you can do is select the font size and then just type whatever value you like. I'm going to go ahead and use a value of 150. That'll make the word go all the way across my slide. Okay, so now let's bring that image in. With this text box selected, we're going to choose the Format tab, and then we want to choose Text Fill, and then we're going to choose Picture. And then we can navigate to that same image that we applied to the background, which is right here, and then we'll click Insert. Okay, so now my text is filled with that image. If you want to, you can also use some text effects here. If you need to give your text maybe a little bit more definition, make it stand out a little bit more. So let's go ahead and choose maybe a bevel effect. Might look nice. That's pretty nice, makes it kind of pop off the slide a little bit. Maybe a shadow would look good too. We'll apply that as well. Okay, so you can play with those effects and experiment a little bit to find out what looks good for the slide that you're building. So there you go, something new to play with when you're working with text and images to maybe give your e-learning course a little bit more of a unique look.